uh, How I Created Dumas, the True Story of Alexander Dumas Pere, the author of The Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo. Um, in 1995, after the release of my film Panther, I was speaking on the phone with a friend of mine. His name was Chris Lee. He was a vice president of Sony Pictures. He had produced really great films like Philadelphia and got Tom Hanks the Academy Award. And he later became the president of Sony. I was on the phone with him and he said, "You need to look into doing the story of the Three Musketeers, creator, Alexander Dumas. D'Artagnan was black." I said, "What do you mean D'Artagnan was black? Everyone knows D'Artagnan wasn't black. He was white." He said, No, we're doing the Three Musketeers here at Sony with Kiefer Sutherland." And I said, what, you're going to make a black D'Artagnan? He said, "Of course not. But this is a story that you should look into, Marcus." So I looked into the story. I began doing the research in 1995. And after the Matrix came out in 1999, I decided that I was going to take on this project. So I found two books, the only two books that were available to the public at the time, which one was out of the 42nd Street and 5th Avenue Rare Books Library in Manhattan. So I put the book on reserve. I got a handheld scanner, the same one that Tom Cruise used in Mission Impossible. That cost me $2,000. It was the last edition for Hewlett Packard. But I got it, and I got a Hewlett Packard desktop. That cost me $5,000. I got my plane ticket. I got a hotel room for myself, and I planned to go in there and take the material. So I did just that. I did take the material. I began sketching and doing drafts of what I wanted to do, whether it's a play or a motion picture script. And then in 2000, with the Matrix controversies that would, come out later, at that time it was, real time, I put all of my drafts and research into a box and into a vault. And then I gave those boxes and research papers to someone. But I did not get those boxes back until 2018. So in 2020, I decided I was going to, venture back into the Dumas project. In 2021, I began to write. I wrote the audiobook, which I put on Audible Books on Amazon, and I entered it into the Audi Awards. And January 5th is when I did all the recordings, produced it, directed it, did all the narrative, did all the voices, wrote it. It was a one-man endeavor, one-man band. And so the hardback came out later in 2022, which is entered for the Pulitzer Prize. And I already consider myself a winner on this project for being the first to tell the story of Alexander Dumas, such a great phenomenon of a human being with such impact. But one of the main reasons is to bring beauty to language, knowing that a person of color created such language, created such panache and such beauty, really compelled me to help share his story with the world, and to understand where we come from and where we are going, and to inspire literature and to inspire reading and writing. And now I'm looking forward to begin shooting aspects of his life as portraying him and bringing this great, wonderful man to life.